Was Godzilla drafted during the Korean War? At first, the personnel file is thin. No service number. No induction notice. The armistice in Korea was signed on the 27th of July, 1953. Godzilla reached Japanese cinemas 15 months later. On a literal reading, he missed the fighting. Case closed. Except that a draft is not only a date. It is a system that finds a body, gives it a purpose, and sends it to do work nobody else can. In June 1950, when North Korea invaded South Korea, Japan was still occupied, disarmed, and constitutionally committed to renouncing war. It was also the nearest enormous workshop. American forces moved from Japan to Korea. Japanese ports, factories, and repair yards fed the United Nations campaign. Special procurements poured money into a battered economy. Japanese Maritime Safety Agency minesweepers were even sent into Korean waters. Then came the uniforms. General MacArthur directed Japan to create a 75,000-strong national police reserve. It was called police while being organized and equipped like a military force. The name was doing a heroic amount of constitutional work. The reserve became the National Safety Force, then the Self-Defense Forces in the summer of 1954. The Korean War had not merely happened beside Japan. It had rearranged the country industrially, strategically, and psychologically. And then, 7 months after the armistice, the United States detonated Castle Bravo at Bikini Atoll. The test was far more powerful than expected. Fallout contaminated the Japanese fishing boat Lucky Dragon No. 5 and its crew. That incident, not the Korean battlefield, was the immediate spark for Toho's monster. But sparks require fuel. Japan had Hiroshima and Nagasaki in living memory, fresh anxiety over the hydrogen bomb, and a new security apparatus taking shape under Cold War pressure. Godzilla entered that atmosphere like a conscript entering a barracks already built for him. His scarred hide evoked burned flesh. His breath turned atomic energy into a weapon. The first film opened with a fishing vessel destroyed by a blinding flash, then gave Japan Geiger counters, hospital wards, and a Tokyo once again in flames. He was catastrophe in uniform, although the uniform was technically rubber. The recruitment office was Toho Studios. Director Ishiro Honda and effects director Eiji Tsuburaya had already collaborated on The Eagle of the Pacific. They knew how to turn miniatures and military hardware into national emergency. Producer Tomoyuki Tanaka supplied the project. Composer Akira Ifukube supplied the weight. Together, they gave the age a body. And look at Godzilla's assignment. He is met by tanks, artillery, aircraft, and an electrified barrier, the visible machinery of national defense. It all fails. The decisive answer is the oxygen destroyer, a weapon so terrible that its inventor fears governments will reproduce it. He burns his research and dies with the secret. That is not a recruiting poster for rearmament. It is a warning about what every emergency invites: one more force, one more weapon, one more exception. So, was Godzilla drafted by the Korean War? The prosecution has a tidy chain of causation. Korea mobilized Japan as a rear base. It accelerated Japanese rearmament. It returned military institutions and military images to everyday life. Then Castle Bravo supplied the atomic shock, and Toho assigned a monster to carry the burden. The defense has the calendar, though even that is untidy. The agreement was an armistice, not a peace treaty. Godzilla appeared after active fighting paused, and production followed the Pacific nuclear test. He never went to Korea, joined a unit, or received a boot allowance, which, for a creature that size, may have saved the treasury. The verdict is precise. Literal conscription, no. Godzilla arrived after active combat. Historically, however, the Korean War prepared the barracks. It created Japan's new defense force. For months later, Toho gave it an enemy. Castle Bravo sounded the roll call. Toho issued the suit. Godzilla's first tour was not on the Korean peninsula. It was inside Japan's memory, carrying nuclear trauma, fear of remilitarization, and suspicion of miraculous new weapons. If a draft means legal enlistment, he never served. If it means being summoned by an age to perform its dirtiest emotional work, Godzilla was called up before he had a name.